and welcome to Gerety Talks. My name is Lucia and I am the co-founder of the Gerety Awards. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for our weekly episodes where we chat with some of the marketing and creative industries through changemakers. Today we are having a special edition of the Gerety Talks where we will be chatting to two of the speakers invited at the last edition of the Golden Drum Festival to talk about their keynote, Sustainability, Let's Walk the Talk. We welcome Sophie Hochstraate, Group Head Global Client Development at Mediaplus Group. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to see you.
And also Eva Bodecker Thunborg, the CEO of Mediaplus Nordic. Thanks, Eva, also for joining us today.
Thank you.
So let's start by learning a little bit more about you. Please, can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit more about your role and companies? Sophie, maybe you would like to start?
Yes, thank you. So first of all, thank you for having us. It's a great honor. My name is Sophie, as you've said. I work at Mediaplus Group, which is the holding company of the Mediaplus International Network. I am responsible mainly for the new business activities that we do. So I'm coordinating the processes, making sure that markets work together in a very collaborative manner, that we have a strategy in place, a central strategy in place that works across markets to really get the most and consistent work out of our teams for our international clients. So that's what I'm focusing on in my current role. And then there's a little bit of other things on top, which the keynote speech at the Golden Drums, and then this opportunity came up and I'm very happy about it. And that's it about my role, and handing over to Eva.
Yes, hello, my name is Eva. I am the MD of Mediaplus Nordic, and we founded this collaboration together with Mediaplus 6 years ago, and I came on board 2 years ago to really enhance the collaboration within the Nordic countries. And something that you might know about the Nordics, that we are very keen on sustainable solutions in everything, and including in the media industry. So the topic is really close to my heart, and I will love to have the speech together with Sophie.
Great. So as I mentioned in the intro, you were invited by the Golden Drum Festival to do the talk on sustainability. And the introduction read, "We all possess the power to act. Each and every one of us can make a difference, whether in our personal lives or professional endeavors. Yes, even in marketing, creation, media, and research, every action counts in shaping a more sustainable world within the advertising industry. Embrace this transformative opportunity with us at the Golden Drum Festival, where we will explore how every small step leads to monumental change." So my first question is, what was your reaction or your first reaction when you received the invitation from the festival to talk about this topic? Sophie, would you like to start?
Yeah, I think it was mixed feelings. So on the one hand, it was like, great, we can talk about it because it's a topic that really matters. And it's so great to have media as a new category in the Golden Drum Festival. But then at the same time, I was also, do people really want to hear about sustainability yet again? Because it's an everyday discourse. So we speak about sustainability all the time. And I'm really worried that people get tired of speaking about it nonstop, as it sometimes feels. So I think it's also the discourse that needs to change from something really negative to something more positive. So it's really appreciated speaking about it in a bigger round in any setting possible. So even in the setting of a creative festival. So it felt like the outside keynotes of everything that we've heard, but having the opportunity to speak to a crowd with international reach and creative minds was the perfect opportunity. So it did make sense in the end, but it was mixed feelings in the beginning, to be honest.
Eva, would you like to add something?
No, I think Sophie covered it all, but for me, it's like a really honor to talk about this topic. And I think that the crowd at the Golden Drum really was part of our talk. It was a two-way communication in the room. So I felt that it was a really good conversation starter.
And tell us about the talk. What were the main topics that you spoke about?
So what we said in the upfront section of our presentation was that sustainability is not just climate protection. So it is, first of all, it's not just the protection, but also the preservation of things and action that we do in order to even prevent things from happening. But then it's not only about the environment, but sustainability goes beyond that. So there's 17 sustainability goals that even include education and prevention of poverty and education and equality, and also building up infrastructure and life on land, life in the sea. So there's so much more than just the nature as we speak about it all the time. And then we try to keep the talk a little bit positive and fun in the beginning before we went into the actual numbers that Eva is going to elaborate about on. So what we started with was creating that analogy with James Bond, that it needs every character within the James Bond movies in order to make an impact. So it needs himself as the combative leader who's always fighting for the good cause. And then it needs Miss Moneypenny, who's the good soul and who's trying to really, well, support everything in what they do. And there's M, who's currently telling people what to do and supervising everything. And then there's Q, who's the inventor and the person who really invents solutions to our problems. So it is not just that there's this one profile needed to make a change, no, but it's multiple profiles and all of them working together to really then make an impact. So that's what we started with. And then we continued saying that media, because, well, it's a creative festival, but media is a new category. Media can also make an impact. And it's not only in the very tangible forms of media. So yes, out of home, and we can use materials that are eco-friendly, and we can use electricity, like solar energy in our billboards. So we can do all of that, yes, and that's tangible and everybody knows about it. But then people might not be familiar with emissions that media actually causes when consuming an ad on the internet. So, and then we spoke about targeting and how good media planning and therefore good targeting can actually really help in avoiding useless emissions. So, and then we went a little bit into further detail and said, well, we call it value planning, where we look at people and their attitudes and why they do certain things. So people might look similar in their social demographics, but when you look into their behaviors and the attitude as to and what triggers their behaviors, you see they come from different places. So you need to serve them different messages on the internet in order to get them purchase your stuff, go to your landing page and do whatever you want them to do as an advertiser. But there's different formats, different creative formats, and different messages of reaching them. And the better you target them, the less scatter loss you have in the ads that you send to people, and the less emissions you send. So it's good for a client's budget, but as well as for the environment. So it's economically and ecologically, you can do something in media. And that is something that people don't see. And therefore it's so intangible that it needs explanation to people who are not really familiar with it. And I think it was really an eye-opener to tell people that what they see on the internet, which people don't think doesn't cost a thing, is actually impacting the environment. And then Eva had some very good numbers, and of course some other topics that she spoke about. So Eva, please tell us about that, because that was great. And I didn't know myself, so I was very amazed by that.
Yes, and that was also our topic for the talk, that let's walk the talk. And we feel that there's so many of us in our industry that talks a lot about sustainable solutions, sustainable processes, products, but we really need to act now, because the situation is really here and now. The solutions and the products that can be used are really here and now. We have used great solutions in media for a couple of years in the Nordics, as well as in other international Mediaplus offices, of course. But I know for sure that the results are great. And the reason why we wanted to pick this up in the Golden Drum Festival was more that, yes, you can do great creative solutions, great creative campaigns and assets, but in the end, we need to collaborate together, both the media agency, the clients, and the creative agencies, in order for all of us to be sustainable. And we also highlighted the fact that the regulations within EU will change from 1st of January 2024 for larger global clients, that they need to be able to report on their CO2 emissions within their media investments. And 1st of January 2024 is pretty soon coming up. So we wanted to, both raise the issue and also come with a solution. And what we talked about more in detail was the fact that Sophie mentioned also, that we showed figures from a lovely client called BMW, which have been having so many campaigns in the Nordics and throughout the whole world, actually. But in the Nordics, we did this pioneering project, trying to stream video through static assets, through static banner surfaces. And this was all in order to minimize the data waste that you do when you buy through YouTube, we buy through or outbound video. So this is just streamed like Spotify versus iTunes. In that order, you can monitor the full funnel within this video assets, and in the end, show the results in a dashboard, how the CO2 emissions was saving the planet. And this is not just for showing off how good we do in media buying. It is also a very, good for your heart, that feels that, okay, we're doing something good here. We're doing something great. And this is what we're basically looking for in all media channels, to find the really sustainable solutions.
And what do you think are the keys to unlock the potential of advertising for a greener and brighter future?
I mean, I think talking about it, showing it, what have we done, what works, and try to involve, include, engage everyone who is a little bit interested in this topic. And I believe that's a few. So I would love for everyone that even just think about it to contact Sophie or me, because we really want to discuss this more and we really want to share our knowledge.
Great. Sophie? You are muted.
Well, I think Eva summarized it pretty well. I think communication is really the key, and getting all stakeholders, on the same table. So be it a creative agency together with a media agency, together with clients, and people just interested, not being clients, but just wanting to know about it. I think the more people who talk, the better it is.
And what was the audience reaction or feedback? Did you have a Q&A after the session? Were there many people there? How was it?
We had great feedback, especially after the talk, because sometimes it feels also like a private thing. So people rather engage in private conversations and tell us about what they've done in the past. And that was interesting to hear. And we were lucky to have a few very positive comments on LinkedIn, where people said that our talk was actually one of the more important ones that really have an impact, even though they were not our talk was not the funnest part or the most creative one. And there were, I'm sure, more inspiring talks than ours was. but people really understood that it was important and that it was indeed a great stage to have that talk on. So very positive feedback. And I think, Eva, you have a lot of follow-up meetings on that you have.
Yes, and we're super thankful for inviting us both to this, Lucia, and also to the Golden Drum Festival, because it opens new doors for both us and for everyone attending. So that's the big thing for us to talk about it and to discuss. And I'm sure that more people have great solutions that they want to share. So just get the discussion started. And so we have a few very interesting leads that we will continue to follow up on.
Cool. And this question might be obvious, but why do you think a talk on this particular topic is important within the frame of an advertising festival? I can imagine it might be important in any frame, but why in advertising?
Well, as you said, it can be anywhere, but communication has the positive benefits of spreading the word, and creative together with media actually makes the message travel really fast and across all generations, across, well, all countries, social backgrounds. Well, you reach anyone at some point with media. I mean, you can't really get around it anymore today. So, and I think if media and creative work together really, really nicely with the message, how the message is being delivered and how you reach your audience, that really makes a difference to spread the word, basically.
Eva, anything else you would like to add?
No, I think that covers it. But I think the discussion is going on in almost all fields. So I think that we have the opportunity to, as Sophie mentioned, to spread the word a bit quicker, maybe. So I think that we are very much responsible for doing that as well. So this is a very good opportunity.
And a question to wrap up, what ideas or actions in the right direction of sustainability would you like to see appear in the future within the creative industries or the advertising industries?
I mean, I would very much want to see more collaboration between media agency, creative agency, all kinds of agencies, in order for us together to evolve and develop new products and services that will enhance the environment. So I would very much want to see more curiosity among the creative agency towards our industry, the media agency industry, because we have lots of statistics, we have lots of analysis and lots of data that we can show what we can do with. And but we can sit here with all our data and all our figures, but with no creative assets, we don't go anywhere. So together will be the solution for going forward.
Great.
I think also what's important is to have a discourse or keep the discourse so alive and even with a more positive connotation that we sometimes see. So people don't see sustainability and talks on sustainability and the environment and all the negativity as not as a worn out topic. So I think it should be perceived as something positive. And talks that only focus on how damaged the world is and that we cannot turn it around anymore and that the world is getting hotter and that, you know, ice poles are melting. If we only focus on the negative things, then people just really close their eyes and shut their eyes and are not really receptive to anything anymore. So I think it needs a more positive frame and rather focus on what are the positive things that we can all do if we work together rather than focusing on the past of the damage that we have already caused. So I think it's the discourse that needs to be a little bit different for people to actually be excited about speaking about sustainability rather than wanting to escape from it, close their eyes, or playing death. So I think that's what we all need to do, work towards a more positive connotation of sustainability.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us your great talk and for starting the discussion. Actually, we can definitely have your contact name put in the details of the talk so that anybody that can reach out to you can do it directly, or of course they can contact us at Gerety and we can put you in touch, because it definitely needs the efforts of all of us together to make sure we do some positive change to something that in the end involves us all. It's not just advertising or media industries, just everybody in the world. So thank you so much and all the best for all your upcoming projects. And I hope the discussion has only started with you and that many people get involved for making some real change and making a better world.
Thank you, Lucia. That was fun. Thank you.